What's good, YouTube? I'm Quasar.
And I'm Nova.
And we're the Chronomalykings.
Alright, for this video today, we're going to be showcasing you guys how the extra deck has evolved since the beginning of the game of fusions to current pendulums.
Yeah, it used to be called just the fusion deck because we only played with fusion monsters. But now we've evolved to including synchro monsters, Xyz monsters, and now even pendulum monsters can be stacked on top of the extra deck.
So we decided to add pendulums to the extra deck. Mainly, we know that they can't be summoned from the extra deck, but because they go face up on top of the extra deck, and when you pendulum summon, you can resummon them from there, we've decided that they still somewhat count as monsters from the extra deck. So we're going to include them in the video. Alright, so we're going to start this video off with fusions.
Yeah, so basically fusion monsters are used when you combine at least 2 or more of the appropriate materials, along with using cards like polymerization or another fusion card. So it needs like at least 3 cards in order to summon out the required fusion monster.
But some fusion monsters require other monsters, or including synchro monsters, such as Dragon Knight Draco Quest. He requires what? A synchro warrior monster?
Yep.
And one dragon. So he's once again, he fits in the category of fusions. You know, you have to meet the requirements. But as we start moving past the Yu-Gi-Oh! And Yu-Gi-Oh! GX series, we get new extra methods of summonings, which become much more easier to pull off.
Exactly. So moving on to that, we now have synchro monsters. Synchro monsters are usually summoned when you have 1 tuner and 1 or more non-tuners. So now we are bringing out a monster from the extra deck using only 2 cards.
Instead of the 3 that the fusions were.
Yeah, so also a lot of tuner monsters have these amazing effects that allow you to special summon either from hand or grave, allowing you to maybe even use only 1 card just for a quick, easy synchro summon.
Yeah. So, but something else I want to mention between synchros and fusions is, we've gone from fusions used to have effects that were kind of mediocre. You know, they'd be at the time they were worth the cost. They were worth the amount of monsters.
Exactly.
Usually when you'd go into fusion monster, usually by that time you'd win. But now with synchros, there's not many decks that use fusion summons that would want to fusion summon. Most of the time you'd rather be going into something else. But anyway, so we got Trishula and Black Rose as our 2 synchro examples.
Yeah,
they're 2 of the most iconic synchros because they have somewhat of the biggest impact in the Yu-Gi-Oh! Meta.
Exactly. Alright, moving on, we now are going to look at Xyz monsters. Xyz were brought after Zexal came out. Xyz are probably one of the most powerful extra deck monsters now. They're really easy to summon. You could use, for most generics, it's just 2 monsters of the same level.
Which makes them a lot easier than synchros, because sometimes with synchros, your monsters need to total the levels. Whereas with so you need multiple, you can use a tuner level 4 and a non-tuner level 4, and make it synchro.
A level 8 synchro, exactly.
But if you're trying to, it's a lot easier to go with a build that just spams single levels and makes Xyz. Because by that, it's look at Teller Knights. They're all level 4s.
Yeah,
so
they just spam Xyz.
They just spam level 4, rank 4 Xyz.
And finishing off, we have pendulum monsters. Now, even though these cards do not start off in the extra deck, whenever they be destroyed on field, they get sent to the top of the extra deck. And then if you have the correct scales, you can instantly just pendulum summon them right back onto the field.
Yeah. Pendulums is the most they kind of become a second hand. As when they go to the grave. So if you fusion with them, they go back to the top. So it's like, yes, you can use them as fusion monsters these days, and they take away the cost.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Because you could have your scale set up, you could go polymerization, fuse 2 in your hand, make your fusion, and then pendulum summon those 2 monsters again.
Yeah, exactly.
Which can allow for a lot of crazy maneuvers now.
Yeah, pendulum summoning is now probably one of the most broken mechanics in the game. Because if you just have the appropriate scales and the right cards in your extra deck, you can pendulum summon up to 5 monsters.
Yeah. Is there I'm trying to think if there's a limit to how many pendulum monsters you can have face up on the extra deck.
No, there isn't.
So you could literally just have like 10 on your extra deck, and you can
pick
just
the best
decide.
5.
You get to
as
choose.
long as they're within the scales, right?
Yeah, you get to choose which ones you want to bring back.
So as you can see, Stargazer has a scale of 1 and Timegazer has a scale of 8. So if these 2 were in your pendulum zone, you could pendulum summon monsters level 2 through 7.
They've also become very good because they help strengthen older extra cards such as fusions, synchros, and exceeds. So they allow for a lot more interesting and a lot more combo based plays. They're definitely something new for the game though. Like it's always better to incorporate new things into the game.
Yeah,
it keeps the game new and healthier, which is good. But
keeps it interesting.
And the last card we got is kind of a mixture between both. It's Xyz and it's a pendulum monster.
It's one of my favorites too, Odd Eyes Rebellion Dragon. The new Odd Eyes deck's going to be coming out soon, and I'm really looking forward to that. It's going to be one of the most broken decks coming out into the TCG.
But it makes you wonder, if they're going to make a Xyz pendulum monster, are they going to make other ones?
Yeah, like Synchro or Fusion pendulum monsters as well.
Yeah.
So if those monsters are destroyed, they just go right back to the extra deck face up, in which you can pendulum them again.
Which makes them insanely busted. But hope you guys enjoyed that video. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe. And we'll see you next time.